I was telling, Augustine how much I got out of last week's session with, Gina. I feel so comfortable because half the time I'm looking at stuff and I'm like, okay, where do I move this? How do I
Yeah.
move this, you know?
There's a lot to
I got
decipher.
a lot.
Good. That's the point. I'm glad.
What happened on Wednesday? I had to go to.
Oh, I didn't come Wednesday.
Oh my God, what did we talk about on Wednesday? AI.
Oh, yeah, that's what you were gonna cover.
Yeah, artificial intelligence.
You always take, that's your Wednesday day? You always talk about AI on Wednesday.
Yeah, I think. What did I talk about last Wednesday? I'm like pretty sure I talked about AI, but like this entire semester has been a blur, so I don't really know. I'm like 90% sure.
Do we have something to do with that?
No, everything has everything to do with that. It's all good. You know how I describe the New York weather? It's like hot, cold. You know, like you step outside and you're freezing, and then you go in the subway for 30 seconds and you're caked in sweat. And that's how I live my.
It's not today. I thought it was chillier. It's not that bad.
No, but I hate like, cause like, you know, having gone to school in Minnesota, it's like, okay, how do I survive the winter? It's layers. So I put on a bunch of layers, and then I go into the subway for 30 seconds, and then it's just. Woo! So that's a pain.
Is it always cold in Minnesota?
Yes. Well, no. I mean, like, once you get to summer, it gets pretty hot. But until then, it's like literally from October to mid-April is winter.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's very heavy winter. Like people will be like, "Oh my God, it rained like or snowed 3 inches today." In Minnesota, that's like, dude, it rained. It snowed like 12 yesterday. And today's maybe 20. So. I like it though. I guess I'm just weird because I'm from like a state like Illinois is also kind of like that, so I'm kind of used to it. But
Oh my God, the winter in Chicago
is insane. It's insane. I was once my brother's birthday's in January, so I took him into the city and we went to his museum. We went to like museums and all that. But we walked there, and it's literally like it's like treading through like Siberia. Like the snow was like blowing this way, and it was freezing cold. Yeah, and not only that, but the lift that we called to leave the museum ditched us. We walked to like a spot on like the street that they were supposed to pick us up, and then literally a minute before they canceled. Anyways.
You know, any time the lake freezes, you can walk on it. It's solid. It's cold. It's cold.
It's
Very
cold.
cold. It's very cold. All right, well, today we're going to be talking about internet safety. Specifically, we're going to be talking about fake links. So so these things are everywhere. If you Google something, you look something up, or you get sent a link, sometimes there's a chance that it's fake. So how do you detect a fake link?
Yep.
And yeah, that's pretty much what we're talking
So
about
even
today.
if you Google something,
Yes. In fact, I can demonstrate.
there's a danger.
Yeah. Yeah. So let's see. Let's start with this example. So I put onto the slide this screenshot. It's not my own. This is somebody else. But the screenshot of this person getting texts from Apple. Okay. So just looking at these messages, do you think that these messages are real or fake?
Please visit you and verify your payment.
So how do you?
When they're asking you to verify your payment information.
Very good. Very good.
They should have that information.
Yeah. No, Apple probably already has that. First of all. Why do you think? So why do you think they want you to verify your payment information?
Because this way you have to give them your information.
Yeah.
To verify. They supposedly have.
Yeah, right.
You're giving them information to verify.
Yeah, so you give them your credit card numbers and the security code and the zip code, and then
All kinds of information. If you ask me questions on anything, I'm.
yeah, right. Good thinking.
So one thing that I have learned and that I've been taught is that if they're calling you and asking you for information, heck no.
Right.
Mm.
Because I didn't get my information to begin with.
Yeah,
Because
right.
anything you set up, they already got the background question. So if you just calling me, that means you got information right there in front of you.
Now, you're calling, now, if you're initiating the call, and of course they ask you to confirm something.
Yeah, they like send you a response
Then
like, hey.
it's different because you're initiating it, and of course, always with caution.
Yeah, exactly. That's perfect. So if you call Apple support and you're like, hey, my credit card isn't working, and then you get a text that looks like this but real, then it's like, okay, that makes sense, because chronologically, I asked,
You initiated.
yeah, exactly. I said my credit card's not working, and Apple's like, okay, go to this link.
Right.
Fine. That's fine. Now, again, you still use caution, because maybe you get really unlucky and you get something like this right as you're talking on the
Right.
phone. Okay. Now, if I ask you guys to look specifically at the links, what do you guys notice anything shady about the links themselves? The blue text. You made like a bleh noise as you were reading it. So what do you think, Tony? What do you think is so shady about these links?
Well, the first one doesn't really have information about Apple. This one does.
That's one good thing. So what do you mean by that? This first link here, how does it
So
not?
Apple, what is that? Apple just,
Right?
what is that?
Yeah.
Whereas it should say like Apple
Apple.
account locked, page link.
Exactly.
Right.
Okay. So very good. So the second link does in fact have the word Apple in it.
Right.
But let's take a closer look at these links. So it's good that you were able to kind of tell. Now let's take a look at these links. So this is definitely fake. But these messages are absolutely fake. This is a phishing scam. Obligatory, anyways. But so this is absolutely a phishing scam, right? Now let's take a closer look at these links. So throughout this presentation, I'm gonna highlight things in the link for color coding. So that's how you'll be able to tell what I'm talking about. So these two links, we have https://appid-disable.page.link/68458458 ID page disabled. Okay, so that first link, we have stuff in yellow and we have stuff in green. Now, the point of today's lesson is to arm you with information on how to detect fake links, right? And there is a specific set of things you should look for when detecting a fake link. The most important is the page name. So the page name is the stuff in yellow, and I'm going to show you how to identify the page name. But this is the page name, this page.link. So we have the first link here, which is that, and then we have also https://Apple account locked.page.link/I forgot Apple ID. Now, that actually does, compared to the first one at least, look kind of legit at first glance. But again, I have more experience browsing the net, so I know very easily that this is not a real link. But the way that I can tell that is because of the yellow text here, this page.link, right? Now, let's look at this more closely. The first link has the page name, right? Page.link. And then it has a bunch of other information to throw you off. So the green is essentially gibberish. And it's put there to decorate the link in stuff that looks legit. So this is really the heart. This is the true nature of the link. But then we have app ID disabled. We have ID page disabled. This stuff is thrown in there to look like an Apple link. Same down here. Page.link is the actual page name of this link, which points to some kind of site trying to steal information, right? But then whoever created this link also added Apple account locked and I forgot Apple ID because they kind of look like a link that would point to a page like that, right? Page.link is extremely shady. Have you ever heard of page.link? Have either of you? Okay, no, I've never heard of page.link. No. The real message would have come from links to apple.com. So think about this. In our case, we know that Apple has a website at apple.com, which is pretty straightforward. It's like, oh, you have a company. So what is their website going to be? It's usually just the name of the company.com or .net. So let's take, for example, Google. Google's website is google.com. Apple's website, Apple.com. Zoom's website is actually zoom.us. But notice it has the word Zoom in it, right? What else is there? Like Verizon is verizon.com. Progressive is progressive.com. Yeah.
Are you going to show us an actual legit?
Yes, we'll get into that. But all of these are like the real links, right? It's literally just the name of the company and then .com or .net or something. If you didn't know that Apple was located at apple.com, then you'd have to think, what do I think Apple would use as their website? What's the most straightforward thing they could use? It's apple.com. Like if I were an Apple employee and I'm making our website, I would name it the most basic thing possible, which is just apple.com. I wouldn't put it at page.link. There is nothing in the name page.link that indicates that this belongs to Apple. Page.link could be anything. I could have a blog about like my cat at page.link. I could have taxes at page. It's a very generic and shady name. Not to mention, .link is a weird domain. Most websites are .com, .net, .org, .gov, .edu. .link is very rare. And usually if it's rare, there can be something funky going on. Okay, so this is fake. If you get texts like these, hazmat suit. You do not touch anything, nothing in that text. You go back to your texts, you delete the conversation, you block them, whatever you want to do. You don't reply. You treat it like a cleanup worker at Chernobyl. You do not touch anything, either in a text or in an email or anything like that that comes from a scammer, especially an email. If you get an email and it looks shady, do your best to not even open the email. If you do open the email and you figure out that it's shady, leave. You don't click any of the pictures. You absolutely do not click any of the links. You don't reply to the email. You want to make the scammers believe that you just ignored them, that you didn't even get the message, so that their scam was ineffective. They shouldn't even target. So you see stuff like this, put on the hazmat suit. You do not touch anything related to this. Okay. So now we're going to look at real versus fake links. So let's say we're on the internet and we're trying to download Zoom. So which of these do you think is real and which of these do you think is fake? Which one? The one on the left or the right?
The one to the right.
And why do you say that?
It's simple. It's just
Beautiful. It's simple.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Exactly. It's simple.
The other one is like all that like mumbo jumbo.
right. All those numbers.
Blah, blah,
All those numbers and all these like different terms.
It's pretty soft.
You're way ahead of me, Tony. This is excellent. I love these kinds of kids. Excellent. I'm doing my job right. What is freesoft.net? I love that you zoomed in on that. You're like, wait, well, what the hell is that? That's beautiful. So we have zoom.us/download. You guys got it right. Oh, okay. We'll get into that in a second. But again, let's think about this from the perspective of like a Zoom employee. We need a website to put a download link to our software. What are we going to put it on? Are we going to put it on a link that's like 40 letters long? No, we're going to put it in a tiny little thing that's easy to remember, easy to access, and looks real. So https://zoom.us/download, simple, straight to the point. And let's look at what Tony pointed out. Obviously, not obviously, if you don't know this off the top of your head, that's totally fine. But the one on the left is fake, the one on the right is real. Again, we look at the page name, which I highlighted in yellow. So I actually made up this link on the left. I just made it up. I have some creative capabilities, as you can tell. But on the left, we have some link from a website called freesoft.net, which you guys pointed out really quickly. Freesoft.net. I've never heard of freesoft.net. I mean, I made it up,
When
obviously.
people see free,
Oh, yeah.
they,
That's right.
You guys have to slow down a little because literally that is literally the next slide. So I'm gonna just leave. I'm gonna just walk out the door and leave.
It's so good, you have done your job.
Yeah,
effectively.
yeah, clearly, whatever. I mean, okay, just get ahead of me. I don't even care. It's fine, whatever. I'll just leave. Okay, but yes, we'll get to that in a second. Excellent observation. But yes, freesoft.net. I've never heard of freesoft.net. You've never heard of freesoft.net. And if Zoom had a website, what would they call it? They call it like zoom.com or zoom.us. Fun fact, the reason it's called zoom.us and not like zoom.com, I think is because Zoom is originally a Chinese product. So then when they imported it into the US, they just called it zoom.us.
That
Okay.
makes sense.
Yeah, right. So zoom.us is the legitimate page name for Zoom Incorporated. If you look up on Google, Zoom, the first links after the ads are going to be zoom.us. In fact, I could actually show you guys. Freesoft.net, on the other hand, none of us have ever heard of this. I mean, I literally made it up, but freesoft.net sounds like a website you would find stuff like this on. It's not a very well-known website, and Zoom Incorporated would not choose a page name like that. They would choose something that's closer to what the company is called. They wouldn't choose Freesoft for Zoom, right? Now, another thing, as you pointed out, the usage of the word free. And we actually see this twice in my fake link. We see it in free soft. We also see it in Zoom free. Mentioning free, either in the page, like description, or in the URL, is usually redundant and or unnecessary. Why is that? So first of all, how much does Zoom cost to download? Nothing. So why am I even bothering to say it's free? You already knew it was free. So it's redundant to include in the link that it's free. That's like, what do I even compare that to? Hey man, you put like it's like a public water fountain. You put a sign above it that says free. Like, yeah, no kidding. It's like everybody knows it's like you're not paying. Like that's redundant. Why do you think they put free in?
To attract people.
Yeah, entice people. Because the word free, I mean, we grew up in this country, so we see the word free and we're like,
Right?
Really?
Second look, right?
yeah. So, oh, free. That sounds pretty cool. But yeah, so free is kind of used as this like buzzword to entice our like American brains, which it works sometimes. Now most people already know Zoom is free, and the thing is that usually the usage of the word free is shady, no matter how much the software costs. So if the software is already free, and the URL is mentioning that it's free, it's redundant. It's kind of shady because it's like, why are you mentioning something I already know? On the other hand, take something like Photoshop, for example, which is it's a piece of software that you need to pay for. Those Photoshop costs like, I think like $500, right? It's pretty expensive, yeah. Now, if you see a link that says Photoshop free, something weird is going on. Why do you think something weird is going on? We know that Photoshop isn't free. And the only legitimate source to get Photoshop from is Adobe, which is the company that owns Photoshop. If I go to this link and I download this free version of Photoshop, even if it does in fact download something that looks like Photoshop onto my computer, and even if I install this supposedly real version of Photoshop, if I run it, it could look everything like Photoshop. Maybe it is even just Photoshop, but it will have goofy stuff attached to it. Either adware, all of a sudden, like you download this weird this free version of Photoshop, and then you wake up the next day, you open your computer, and it shows you an advertisement for Coca-Cola. You're not even in a web browser, it just pops up in the middle of your screen, and you have to click 5 things to make it go away. Or even worse, you download this free version of Photoshop, and then you get really bad stuff like, hey, you got to send this amount of money to this link, or else everything on your computer will be deleted. Yeah.
I just want to share an experience that I had. Of course, when my kids were younger, they had to go on the internet to do research and all that.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know what happened anyway. One day, something terrible happened. We got a virus. It was horrible. It was like the skull face on the screen.
Yeah, they do that to scare you. Yeah.
It was horrible. Fortunately, my husband is an IT guy,
So he could get rid of it.
Yeah, he was able to tell you what to do to rectify it. But it is bad because you can't do anything.
Yeah.
You cannot do a damn thing about it.
Some of these viruses, they're called ransomware. So what ransomware will do is they'll actually hold on to your information. And when I say information, I mean literally all the information in your computer, all the pictures, files, whatever, programs. Yeah. So they'll hold on to it. They won't delete it yet. They'll say, send $2,000 in Bitcoin to this address on the internet, and then they'll let your information go, and you're fine. But if you don't, it literally just deletes everything on your computer. There was an attack a few years ago. I think it came from the Philippines, or that might have been a different one. But there was an attack, might have been by a North Korean hacking group, where a bunch of hospital systems worldwide. You remember this? A whole lot of hospital systems worldwide, their computers were infected with this bug, ransomware. Send this amount of money to this internet address, or we will delete everything in your system, which is pretty evil because it's, I mean, you're not just targeting some random dude's PC, you're targeting a computer system that like helps people not die. It's like, so that was made the news. I don't think we even know who really did it, but like 99 out of 100 signs point to North Korea. But yeah, you know how that ransomware got onto those computers? Probably something like this.
Somebody must have opened something else.
Somebody opened something stupid.
I work for the Health and Hospitals Corporation, and let me tell you something, those people monitored everything on my computer.
Yeah, you cannot screw up.
Then, yeah, if there was an email from someone that was not pertaining to business, they would write to me and say, yeah, oh yes.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
They watch everything. They would constantly update.
Yep.
Big Brother's watching everywhere.
Yeah, right. I actually worked, one of my internships, I worked at a Department of Energy lab for the government, really. And before I could even begin working there, I had to go through all these training regimens, a lot of which dealt with security. What they do at these national labs, they have one in Long Island, they have one like 20 minutes from where I live in Illinois. Something that the administrators of those facilities will do is they will send all of their employees an email, a fake email. They'll send them an email with a link saying, oh yes, company meeting in 30 minutes, please join at this link. And they'll send it to all of their employees to see whether or not they fall for the trick. And if they do fall for the trick, it doesn't destroy their computers. Instead, it lets the boss know that they were stupid enough to click on the link. But they will test their employees like, hey, you better be checking all of this. And if you don't, they know immediately. And then you have to do, I know, and then you have to do like a 3-hour, like, I'm sorry session.
You have to write 100 times.
I will not click the fake link. I will not click the fake link. Now, this is a good thing because the lab I work at has a lot of supercomputers. There's a lab in Washington that literally deals with like nuclear technology. So if that gets hacked, that's just bad. That's really bad. So anyways, they will include links like this in the email. And then the younger employees will probably be like, that's weird. That doesn't look like a real link. But then, you know, Dr. Gus, or he's like 80 years old and he works in his computer and he sees the link. He's like, yeah, sure, I'll take it. And then he gets in trouble. But yes, cool. So you guys have maybe, and it's okay if you haven't, but you may have noticed a few patterns here. There are buzzwords that we look for, like free, which are shady. And a real link will typically be pretty simple, which is a term you guys use. It's just simple and compact and straightforward. Think if I were an employee of the business and I was making the website, I would want to put it on something really simple and easy to understand, not something like freesoft.net with barely anything that says Zoom, right? Also, I don't know if you noticed, but I put definitely Zoom here as a joke. So anyways, now let's take a look at a link, and I'm going to walk you through the different parts of it and really how to detect if it's fake or not. So here's another link. I made it up. It's not real. Definitely, it's okay. https:// definitely zoom.download.center.net/zoom free/version/download 984098320948. That was really fun to type because I just went .html. Okay. So how do we decipher this thing? Clearly it's fake. I literally told you it's fake. But what are some things that you guys think is shady about?
It's so long.
It's so long. The length of it's weird, right? Sometimes companies they'll have a long link for something. So length of the link isn't always a good indicator. So what do we do past that point?
Well, it says.
Avoid it.
Yeah, right. So first of all, right. So I'm actually going to show you guys a few attributes. And this is going to hopefully, this is a very Zoom, ironically enough, is being a pain in the neck. Okay, we'll put it up here. I think that should work. Okay. Okay, so we start here. How do we decipher this link and pick it apart and figure out why it's not real? So first, we need to find the page. I've been highlighting the page name in yellow, but how do you know where the page name is? So I made up a term for this lesson, and I hope you guys take it in as well. It's called the magic slash. Okay. Now, what is the magic slash? Where do you find it?
Well, between the fake page name and the rest of the email website.
Pretty much, yeah. So the magic slash is always the first slash after HTTPS://. So you find the magic slash by finding the HTTPS, which is always at the beginning of the link, okay? Then look forward. You follow the link forward and bam, first slash is the magic slash. That's always going to be the magic slash. Unless 20 years from now, there's an entirely different protocol. But at least right now, the magic slash, you really do take this in because a lot of stuff is based around it, is the first slash after HTTPS://. A whole bunch of stuff could fall in between HTTPS and the magic slash. There could be a whole long list of terms, but that magic slash is really a hot point for how you find the rest of this stuff. So the page name is always the first, or the page name is always the last two terms before the magic slash. So you have the magic slash in your link, right? It's going to be the last two terms. It's going to be something dot something. What are these things called? They're called the name and the domain. So it's always going to be name.domain, freesoft.net, or google.com. The two second to last things before the magic slash. So in our case, it's freesoft.net. We know that this is the page name because it's the last two terms before the magic slash. They always follow name.domain. Now, some real examples, some legitimate links include, let's look at https://n.wikipedia.org. And that's literally just a link to Wikipedia. You can read pretty much anything there if you want. I love browsing. Yeah.
What's the EN?
Great question. That's the language. So you have English Wikipedia, so that's en.wikipedia. You have French Wikipedia, so that's fr.wikipedia.
I've never seen it. I always see wikipedia.org.
Yes. So wikipedia.org, if you go there, it will ask you to select a language. And then you select English and it will take you to n.wikipedia.org. And that will always be English articles. Or we can go to cn.wikipedia.org and we can browse it in Mandarin. That's just the language. But notice it's not part of the page name. The page name is just the last two terms before the magic slash. So here the magic slash is this guy at the very end, because we have the HTTPS and then the first slash afterwards. Let's take another look. We have https://images.google.com/results. And then there's going to be a whole bunch of stuff after results. But here, the page name is google.com. So the magic slash is located here, right? This is the first slash after HTTPS //. So we have the magic slash located here. And then the last two terms are the name and domain, google.com. Now, we look at that link, we know it's legit because Google's URL is literally just google.com. That's it. If we're going to google.net, we got to be a little more careful. Google.net could be somebody fake. So there they have the correct name, but not the correct domain. A lot of companies will do this actually. So you're trying to go to healthcare.gov, and instead you go to healthcare.biz. There's a decent chance healthcare.biz is an imposter. It's fake. So it's the correct name, but not the correct domain. We also can look at this https://help.instagram.com/ a bunch of numbers.
Is that a legit?
Yep.
Because the numbers are real.
The numbers are funny, right? Numbers aren't always indicative of a fake. Here, help.instagram.com is literally just, it's just like Instagram's like help center. So the numbers actually point to an article in the help center. Yeah. So this is an article with an ID 1101211795. It's legit. And I don't even care about the numbers. The way I know it's legit is because the page name instagram.com is correct. If you really want to verify it, just look up on Google Instagram and look at what the top results are. They'll say instagram.com. So really the most important thing to look for when finding a fake link is the page name, which you find by locating the magic slash. There are a few other parts of this link though that we need to decipher. So first, we have lower level domains. So this is the stuff before the page name. So we have the page name before the magic slash, but then we can have a whole bunch of terms before the page name. So in our case, we have definitely zoom.downloadcenter.freesoft.net. So this definitely zoom.downloadcenter are lower level domains. So there can be a whole list of them. I think you can have up to like 25 or 26 of them. So you could literally have like 25 words, ... right? And then a link. You won't usually see that though.
Yeah.
But this is a lower level domain. Now, you don't need to understand the intricacies of this, like how it operates, but what you do need to know is that oftentimes a fake link will put stuff in here to throw you off. So they'll include something like, oh yeah, zoom.downloadcenter.freesoft.net. Or they'll be really sneaky. It'll be zoom.freesoft.net. Which looks almost real, but then remember, the page name is still freesoft.net. They just put the word Zoom here to make you think it's free.
I got a question.
Yeah, sure.
This lady, I took a class with her.
Yes.
And people were copying all kinds of things. And then they sent me this. And where does it say? Where would I find the magic flash on here?
Great question. So links are a little different. Or I'm sorry, emails are a little different. I actually had a lesson on fake emails.
Oh, did you?
Yes, and you can find it on YouTube.
Okay.
This email looks legit as far as I
Okay.
can tell. This looks legit.
Because I didn't respond to it.
Perfect. Hazmat suit. Hazmat suit. Hazmat suit. Beautiful. But yeah, this is literally just telling you what to look. This is about fake Instagram accounts. There's a lot of Instagram accounts that'll try to scrape information off of you. They'll DM you enticing offers.
Right,
With a shady
all
link.
kinds of stuff come to this, and every day it's like, oh, this is kind of scary.
Yeah. So look, when you look, and it lists it here, when you look at a fake Instagram account, you want to look for grammar and spelling errors,
Right. So,
inconsistencies in email addresses, suspicious attachments, requests for credentials, like give me your password,
right.
weird sender email
I
addresses.
don't
So
understand how people ask you for. You're giving me something. You ask for my password. How would you have it?
yeah, exactly. That happens all the time. Yeah. But yeah, so Instagram can be like a vector for hackers to try to get you. So be careful.
I would give them a ridiculous password. Figure it out.
So yeah,
Scary.
it is scary. It is scary. We have lower level domains, and these fall before the page name, but they are not part of the page name. I put a bunch of ridiculous terms. I put definitely zoom.downloadcenter, right? That's just ridiculous. I kind of did that as a joke. But you have to be really careful because sometimes in the lower level domain will be the name of a real website, like Google or Wikipedia or Yahoo. So they'll say yahoo.freesoft.net to make you think it's real, but it's not. Okay. Then we have sub pages. I don't know if this is actually the technical term for them. But we have just everything after the magic slash. So everything after the magic slash are sub pages. So again, they might put in terms to make you think it's real. So in this case, I made this fake link and I put in the term Zoom free to make you think it's real, but it's not. So you'll see sub pages which make a lot of sense. So like images.google.com/results. It makes sense why results would be a sub page there. Because it's, you go to the Google images and you look up something and then it's giving you all the results. Here it's help.instagram.com and then the ID number for an article. Makes sense. This is a little weird, and I'm not going to unpack why it's like all the reasons why it's weird, but just know that you should be careful. They will put enticingly real looking things in the subpages and in the lower level domains. I also just noticed that subpages isn't bold and it's driving me nuts. Hold on. I need to edit this. Oh, there we go. Anyways. There we go. Now it's bold. But anyways, they'll put in fake stuff in here and in here to make you think it's real. But what you absolutely need to do is look for the magic slash and find the page name. The page name is the key. That will tell you whether or not the page is real. I put in a link that's purposefully pretty easy to tell is not real, but they can be tricky and they can say zoom.freesoft.net. Got to be careful. Zoom is part of the lower level domain, not the page name. Page name will always just be two terms, always. Okay. So when you're about to click on a link, let's see how we're doing in time. Oh, we're actually pretty early, so I'll do some demonstrations. So when you're about to click on a link, let me show you the process one more time. So I took that same link, right? So first, we locate the magic slash. I made it really big for you so you can see where it is. You locate the magic slash, right? It's the first slash after https://. So you locate that locate the magic slash. Then we look to the left of the magic slash and we find the page name, which is always the last two terms before the slash. Last two. In this case, it's freesoft.net. It could be something real like google.com, or it could be something fake like, freedownload.biz. That's fake. So you look to the left of the magic slash and you find the page name. Then fake. Does that page name sound legit for the task at hand? So if you're trying to download Zoom, you're trying to look something up on Wikipedia, you're trying to go to Yahoo, you're going to healthcare.gov, does the page name before the magic slash sound legit considering the thing you're trying to access? Even the page name, you have to triple check. Maybe instead of google.com, maybe it's goggle.com. Like one little typo, which they'll put in there so you don't catch it. So instead of Google, it'll be Goggle, and then you don't even see it, and you click it, you think it's real, but it's not. So that page name is the thing you really got to scrutinize. Also, I didn't talk about this much, but it's equally important. For the love of God, hover over links. So this is a feature on computers. You can't do it on phones, really. Or you can, in a way. But basically, as a part of this hazmat suit that I told you about, and you put on those gloves, and you put on that mask, when you're on a computer, you can take your cursor and you can hover it over a link. So what that means is, exactly. So what that means is you take the, I can show you. So you literally take the cursor and you put it on top of the link, but you don't click. So you hover it above the link, but you don't actually click. You don't click. So what happens is, if you hover over a link, then the browser will always show you exactly where that link is pointing. So here it says sign on to your account, and it points to this like joke link of, http://www.russianmafia.ru/steal your money/ for God's sake, don't click. So please don't click that one.
Why?
I don't know. That's a great question. Maybe we should unpack that. Why do I not want to click? Yeah, steal your money. That seems fine. Now another thing too, you might not even think to hover over, because see here it says sign on, right? Sometimes the blue text there will say http://google.com/. So it'll look, the blue text looks like a real link because it is a real link theoretically. But the blue text doesn't always match the link it's actually pointing to. You can make this anything you want. Like here they said sign on, but I can make that say anything I want. It can make it say https://google.com, which is completely real. But if you hover over it, the browser will tell you, this is pointing to some weird shady link. So hover over your links. If you're looking at an email and it has a link in it and you're not sure if it's real, you can hover the cursor over the link without clicking, and it will show you the actual place that it's going.
Wow.
On a phone, I'll actually demonstrate to you guys. On a phone, it looks a little bit different. So I need to find an example of a link. Let's take, for example, I gotta find, okay. Let's see. I also don't have internet access right now. Give me a sec. I do want to show you how to do this because you can do something similar on a phone sometimes. Do you guys both have iPhones? No. You know, on an Android it should probably be similar. But let me show you guys. So log on to the Wi-Fi network here. I gotta punch in their information. Blah, blah, blah. And while I'm doing this, does anybody have any questions about anything we've discussed so far?
Just be careful.
Yeah, there you go. Put on the hazmat suit. Always, always, always look for the magic slash and then the page name.
It's like, for instance, I guess this is a kind of a silly question. How the heck do they get your email address?
So what happens is, let's think about it from me. How the hell do they know my email? Well, the truth is they don't know it's my email. They know it's an email that belongs to a real person. So how do they know my email? So you guys will hear sometimes about information breaches. A website gets hacked. It'll be on the news.
Right.
So different websites over time have been hacked. I think Yahoo's been hacked. Kickstarter has been hacked. There have been some big names that are hacked. Now what happens when those companies get hacked? So a whole host of things can happen. But one thing that can happen is they steal a list of all of the users and their hashed passwords. Now let me explain what that means. So let's say Yahoo has X million users. They have let's just say 100 million users. That might be over, that might be under, I don't know, whatever. But somewhere in Yahoo's data centers, they have this big list of just all of their users and all of their passwords in hashed form. So what does this mean? This means it's a list, and for every person that uses Yahoo, it has their username, the email that they use, and an encrypted version of their password. So it's not just the bare password. It's the password put through a mathematical equation, and then a bunch of random letters and numbers. Theoretically, that should make it impossible to reverse the process. So if my password is I don't know, green banana, I could put it through this equation. It'll give me a bunch of random numbers and letters, but there's no way to take those numbers and letters and reverse the process and get green banana.
I've seen those encrypted.
Yeah.
Now, are there some people that really have trouble seeing that? Because I don't have a problem seeing encrypted numbers or letters.
Yeah, right.
It's like, okay, so we want some information, you do that, and I feel pretty safe about it. So once they do that encrypted
Yeah.
sequence, are they able to get your information?
Great question. So this is actually a side rant, but companies, I don't know if it's a legal thing, but it absolutely should be. They can't just store your password bare. They can't just if your password is green banana, They can't have a file that just says green banana. They have to store it in the form of an encryption.
Okay.
So what happens when they encrypt something is they take your password, they shove it into a mathematical equation, and they shove okay, I might be screwing this up, but they shove like another term alongside it. So they won't feed in green banana on its own, they'll feed in green banana XYZ. And for every single password, they'll feed in green banana XYZ or password XYZ. So then the password XYZ gets fed into this mathematical equation. It gives you a bunch of random gibberish, which I'll show you. So let me show you this. Assuming it works, it would be really, okay, watch this. Okay, cool. So let's take green banana. So green banana gets turned into this. I'll zoom in so you can see it a little clearer, but green banana gets turned into this. It's a whole bunch of like random numbers and letters, right? Now, there's no way I can take, theoretically, and it's like a whole like, it's like a war kind of, it's like an arms race. There should theoretically be no way to take this and reverse the process and get green banana. And sometimes they'll even like add layers of encryption. So they'll hash the hash. Okay. There might be a way. I don't think there is, but basically the whole point is I can store, then the company can store this because I can't reverse the process. I'm not gonna, there's no way for me to go from E1 ACF11, blah, blah, blah. I can't reverse the process and get green banana. The only way I can do that is if I have a secret key, and that's like really complicated. But whatever, that's a whole rant. If you're interested in cryptography, I could do a day on that. It's actually really interesting. It's like, if you like spy stuff, a whole lot of that kind of stuff happens on the internet all the time. But the point is, the reason they know your email is because they don't encrypt the password, they don't encrypt the emails. So when they store my email on a server, they just store it. Because theoretically, that shouldn't be that bad, right? It's like, even if you have access to my email, that just means you have access to the email, but you can't necessarily access the email. Is it still annoying? Yes. So what happened in my case? I've been using my personal email address since I was like 9 or maybe even 8. I'm 22. So that email address has been thrown through all sorts of flaming hoops in its long lifespan, right? So when I was like 12 or something, I signed up for a website, who knows? And then that website a few months later got hacked. Then my email was put in a big list. And that list is then bought and sold on a marketplace on the dark web, which is to say the parts of the internet that are more unsavory, you can actually, this is a criminal offense. You can actually purchase lists of emails and encrypted passwords. So then what happens is, let's say I'm a dude and I just want to send a bunch of like scams out to everybody. I'll go to the dark net, I'll buy a list like that, again, illegal. And then I'll take all the emails and I'll just like barf my email out to all the emails on that list. So the truth of it is, like, my email's been like my email is in one of these marketplaces, and there's a very good chance yours is too. But like, all that does is there's just an annoyance factor because like they have it, they can't necessarily hack it because of the encryption for the password, but still, yeah.
I mean, I know they always say to update your password.
Yes.
But at some point, should you change your email? I mean, email when the person, it's like your address. You know,
Yeah, that's way more of a pain in the ass because it's like changing a. Yeah. My resume has my personal, or actually no, it doesn't anymore. But my resume used to have my personal email address. So if I send my resume out to a recruiter, and then he waits 2 years to look at it, and then he wants to send me an email. If I change my email,
it's your loss.
yeah, right, exactly. So that's the thing. It's the password. What I like doing is different browsers, both on the phone and the computer, actually have a service where they'll auto-generate a password for you. So let me show you what I mean. If I sign up for, I don't know, I'm going to sign up for What's something not shady that I can sign up for? I don't know, Miro, okay.
But they also always suggest that you change your password.
Yes, you should change your password. I had a stupid mistake once where all my passwords are the same thing. And then like, I think last summer and the summer before, I got like 3 separate emails that like, someone is trying to sign into your account. They didn't get in because I had some like extra layer of protection. I was like, someone figured out my one email password. So then what I did is I used this. So let's say I'm making an account. I'm on Google Chrome right now, right? So watch this. I'm gonna put in my name. I'll put in like a fake email. I'll put in the email from last time actually. There it is. And look at this. Suggest strong password. Look at this. So there, yeah, sure. Or okay, we'll say yes. So there, use suggested password, and this could be my password. It's disgusting to look at. A7W@5VF %/ but like, there's no way in hell I'm gonna remember that. But the idea is that if I'm using this browser, the browser will put it in automatically. So if I'm signing in, the browser will be like, I got this, dude. He'll put in, I don't know why it's a he. It will put in 5* / whatever, because it will remember it for me. And the reason this is good is because a lot of the time when they're trying, they don't have your password, right? But they'll try to guess it instead. If your password is ABC123, you're screwed. Because that's just like anybody could come up with that. It gets more complicated if your password is like a bunch of words. It's harder, but they're still English words, right? So if your password is green banana, it's a little better because green banana is a weird phrase, but it's still English and you can guess those words one at a time, green and then banana.
You know what I suggest if you know another language? Throw in English for one of the words from your language.
Oh yeah, you can do that, you know, throw in like English and then French or who even, whatever. But really, this is awesome because how the hell do you guess that? There's actually like a mathematical and a computational, there's like a scientific reason for why that is hard to guess. And like, by God, I am not going to remember that.
Yeah,
But-
that's something you need to write down.
Exactly. But at the same time, if someone creates a program that just guesses a bunch of passwords, it's going to take, theoretically, with modern technology, it would take thousands or even millions of years to guess that password. So that's something you can. Now, we have about 5 minutes left. So let me demonstrate 2 things to you. So one, on my phone, I'm looking. So here's the page for Cornell's academic calendar, right? So I can look here and I can see like different dates for Cornell University. Now look, at the top of the page, let me increase the brightness. At the top of the page, we have some links. We have some programs, including Johnson MBA programs, blah, 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 blah. Okay. Now, these are links. And they have blue text. Sometimes the text is orange or red, whatever. But the text here could be different than the link. And in this case, it is. So how do I check? If I take my finger and I hold it down on the text, it will preview the page. Oh. So this isn't perfect because it still has to load the contents, but it'll show you like, oh, if you do click this link, this is what it's going to look like. Yes. So this would work on your phone because you have an iPhone, right? So this would work on your phone. Android, I would guess you can do the same thing. So you would literally. What does I mean? It's a funny Apple marketing technique. I don't know what this means. iPhone, iPad, whatever.
Is it maybe intelligent?
It could be, but we'll have to ask the ghost of Steve Jobs for that. Yeah, so you can do that. And then let's take a look. Let's actually go on a little field trip. Okay, Zoom download. So I'm going to show you guys this in action. So we're on Zoom download, right? So let's take a look at some of the links that we have available for us today. So first link displayed is legit. Now, it's not always legit, but there's a decent chance Google is going to show you the real deal first. And it is. Download center.zoom. Download center Zoom. Now, what happens? When I hover over this link, it's very subtle, but the link appears down here. So some browsers.
very aware of it now because I receive.
Good. Good. I brought this up in the email scam class.
Okay.
So when you hover over a link, it's going to display the actual link here. It depends on the browser. Sometimes it'll put it here. Sometimes it'll put it up next to the cursor. But in either case, it will show you exactly where this is pointing. And look, https://zoom.us.download. Beautiful. We know that's real. It's short, it's concise. Zoom.us is the real page name. Okay, now let's scroll a little bit further. And a little bit further, I mean, let's just go to the 10th search result. I think actually we got a bunch of university pages. Yeah, let's see. Yeah, we have, okay. Here's a good example. These are ads, technically. I don't know if this is shady or not, but I'm not gonna click it. If I don't know if it's shady or not, what should I assume?
That it is shady.
Beautiful.
Because, and you know, another thing, you went way down the list.
Oh yeah.
Again, my kids have always taught me that usually the first few links are the safest.
I never go to like the
But
next.
when you go to further down, like you did to page 10, oh no, I don't know.
Exactly. So Google's trying to like get you as much information as possible. That doesn't mean all of it is good. So at this point, I'm at the 10th page of the search results. So they're gonna get increasingly convoluted.
I'm sorry, when it says AD before that,
That's an ad.
it's an ad?
Yes.
Okay.
So Google will display ads in the results. So these aren't ads. So these are all .edu pages. Fun fact, I think .edu is a special domain that you can only get if you're a school, either a university or a high school or whatever. So they're usually trustworthy. Or same with like .gov, we can't get like a .gov domain unless you're a legitimate part of the US government. Don't bank on that though, because people are always finding weird stuff to exploit. But yeah.
Can I ask you, Social Security Administration, are they .gov? Aren't they .gov?
I'm gonna guess they're .gov. Right, I mean, let's look them up. Social Security Administration. Social Security Office, whatever. Okay. SSA.gov.
Okay.
There you go. So we click here. And here, this is a beautiful exercise actually. Let's go back a page here. Let's hover over the link and look at the link at the bottom.
Very straight.
Very, very straightforward. https://www.ssa.gov. What's the page name for this?
Hold on.
After this.
SSA.
What is it? SSA.what?
Gov.
Yeah. So here actually the slash doesn't display.
There's not the slash.
There's no magic slash at the end. But that just means, I guess sometimes the slash is like implied. But yeah, the page name here is ssa.gov. Okay. It's great that you brought this up because if there's anything that people would love to hack, it's your social security number.
Right?
So let's look at like the decrepit part, like the reset, like the, okay. Let's see how bad we can get. I'm sure we'll find something silly or shady or something.
The Republic of what up there?
That's the Republic of the Philippines. This is real, actually. I don't know why you would need it unless you're a Filipino citizen.
Filipinos here.
Yeah, there are actually. There's a lot in Chicago actually. There's a large Filipino community there. Yeah. Something from the government of New Zealand. Google's actually done a pretty good job here, not giving us.
By phone.
Yeah.
I like seeing people in person. I don't like doing anything on the internet when it comes to something as sensitive as this.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea. Okay, so this is actually the last of the results. I think the closest I can get to finding something that looks a little shady is if I hover over here. This is https://www.informationvine.com. But then the name of the website is Social Security Gov Office. So it looks like it might be real, but it's not. Again, with the Zoom thing, people will love making their websites look like Zoom, but then giving you spamware. So here we have like, let's see, okay, this is perfect. https://gigapromo.com. There's nothing in here that even talks about Zoom. So if you download the Zoom from this website,
You don't know what you're gonna get.
you don't know what you're gonna get, and that's not a good thing. See how bad we can get. Ooh, this is beautiful.
ODU, Zoom.
I guess I don't even know what this is. Maybe that's actually real. See how bad we can get. This is okay. This is okay. This is a German link. Gestritbayenberg.de. .de is Deutschland, Germany. / Zoom meeting on Kindle Fire. Wow, actually, Google has been clearly like cleaning up its act lately, but it used to be that you could find stuff like this really easily. But yeah, you have to be careful. You have to look for that page name, and I'll put it up on the board one more time. This is how you decide. Look for the magic slash. Sometimes it's implied. It's at the very end. Look to the left and find the last two things, and that's the page name. And then ask yourself, does that page name sound legit? And always hover over links. Cool. One last thing. The only time that this slash will not show is if there's nothing after it. So if there's no, go back. If there are no sub pages after it, sometimes they'll just drop the slash. So it's like implied. So if there are no sub pages, then they might just not display the slash. But at that point, you could just assume it's at the very end of the link, and you look for the page name here. So those are fake links. Be careful with them. I was like 6 and I clicked one like an idiot and killed my mom's computer. So don't be me at 6. That's what I'm saying.
I just want to share this with Tony. As an older, mature person, I have 3 friends. Okay, I mean, well, 2 friends. 2 of us are older, mature. One was retired. I was still working, and the 3rd person in our party was a 30-year-old girl. Very savvy computer. What I want to say is, it's always nice to have a younger person because they are so much more knowledgeable and stuff these days. So we were always picking her brain. And my older friend, she always had all these fancy phones. And she was always like, Brenda, you need to help me with this. And Brenda was, like I said, very computer savvy. She knew what she was doing. She had her mother also that she had her phones and her computers and all that stuff. So it's always good to have a younger person around as you, because you, like I said, I will always walk away with something, my kids are far away. Yeah, they help me, but it's not the same as they being right there and, holding my
To catch
hand.
that mistake.
Yeah, and I am so careful when it comes to clicking on something.
Good. Good, you should be.
Actually, she pays my bills. We talk over the phone. I go, let's pay our bills. She takes care of it, and but I won't do it on my computer because I'm just not.
That's good. That's good.
I feel I'm not gonna do something, So that's.
And there's always something that pops up.
Yeah.
It's so distracting.
Yes.
Stuff pops up all the time. It's like,
Yes.
what?
It's very distracting.
Sometimes stuff will pop, like sometimes you're about to click something and they will systematically put a
Yes.
pop-up above the thing you're about to click on. So that instead of clicking on the real thing, you're
Yes.
clicking on some random
Oh.
BS. Yeah.
And